It's funny. We never really think about the massive, complex network of pipes running through our homes. I mean, it's totally hidden behind the walls, under the floors, just silently doing its job day in and day out. It brings us clean water, gets rid of waste. It's amazing. But what happens when that silent system starts screaming for help? Well, that's what we're going to get into.
See, here's the thing. Your home's plumbing isn't just pipes and valves. It's got a history. It's got a story to tell. And every little gurgle, every slow drain, every single drip, that's a sentence in its story. So the real question is, are you actually listening? Because those little sounds, they could be the first whisper of a huge problem that's about to erupt.
To really get a handle on this, we're going to take a little trip to Lowell, Massachusetts. It's a perfect case study. Why? Because its old historic homes are dealing with some really unique plumbing challenges. And trust me, what's happening there can teach every single one of us a lesson about what's going on in our own homes. So what's so special about Lowell? Well, you've got this incredible history colliding with a pretty harsh New England climate. It basically creates a perfect storm for plumbing nightmares. Let's break down the three big challenges people are facing there. Okay, first up, the buildings themselves. So many houses in Lowell went up before 1970, and that means you're dealing with plumbing from a whole different era. We're talking about galvanized steel pipes that after 50, 60, 70 years are literally corroding from the inside out. That means you get terrible water pressure and rusty-looking water. And the drain pipes? A lot of them are cast iron, and they just break down over time, causing these awful, stubborn clogs. You often don't even find out about this stuff until you try to sell the house or start a renovation. But it's not just about how old the houses are. The local environment is a huge factor. The winters in Lowell are no joke. I mean, it regularly gets down below 20 degrees. So you have this brutal freeze-thaw cycle, which is just hell on pipes. They expand, they contract, and then they crack. This is especially true in the uninsulated basements of those classic triple-decker houses. Then you add in the fact that the city is right by two major rivers, which means the water table is high, putting constant extra stress on sump pumps and drains. It's a constant battle. And the last big challenge? It's not even in the house. It's buried under the street. Believe it or not, a lot of Lowell is still using clay sewer lines from the early 1900s. Yeah, and those old pipes are like a magnet for tree roots, which snake their way in, crack the pipes, and cause total backups. And if that wasn't enough, when the city's old water mains break, which happens a lot, they blast a ton of sediment and gunk right into your home system. That stuff clogs up your faucets, your shower heads, and just wrecks your water heater. Now, Lowell's issues might sound a little extreme, but really, they're just bigger versions of what any of us could be facing. So this brings us to the most important part of our whole chat today, how you can spot these problems in your own home. It's time to learn how to decode your home's distress signals. This is so useful. Think of it as a translator for your house. You hear that weird gurgling sound when you flush the toilet? That's not just your house being quirky. That could be a major stoppage building in your main sewer line. Or remember we talked about rusty water? Well, there it is, a classic sign of those old galvanized pipes corroding away. And that patch of grass in the yard that's always a little too green and damp? You might have a sewer line leak right under it. These are signs you absolutely cannot afford to ignore. Okay, so you've spotted one of the signs. Your first instinct might be to panic. Don't. The next step is figuring out what you're dealing with. Is this a 5-alarm fire, or is it just an annoying little problem? Knowing when to make that emergency call is going to save you a ton of stress and money. This right here draws a really clear line in the sand. On the left side, you've got the real emergencies. We're talking catastrophic water damage, major health hazards, things that put you at risk. A pipe that's actually burst and is flooding your basement, a sewer line backing up into your house, you call for help immediately. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. But on the right, those are the routine issues. A dripping sink is wasteful, for sure, and a running toilet is annoying, but they can wait. You can schedule that fix for business hours. Knowing the difference is absolutely critical. So, you've figured out it's time to call in a pro. What happens then? I know for a lot of people, this is the part that feels kind of intimidating, but a good professional has a really simple, straightforward process. So let's just pull back the curtain and demystify the whole repair journey. It really just boils down to these 3 simple steps. 1, you call and tell them what's going on, and they send a technician out to actually diagnose the problem in person. Step 2 is maybe the most important, approval. They'll tell you what's wrong, what your options are, and give you a detailed cost estimate. You have to approve the work before they start. No surprises, no hidden fees. And finally, step 3, completion. They do the repair, they test everything to make sure it's working, and then you get a proper invoice and all the warranty info. See? Simple, transparent, and you're in control the whole time.
We've spent a lot of time talking about how to fix problems, which is great. But honestly, the best case scenario is avoiding those problems in the first place. And that's where you get to be proactive. Let's talk about the keys to preventative maintenance so you can stop these issues before they ever get started. Think of this checklist as your new best friend. Seriously, these little things make a huge difference. Flushing the sediment out of your water heater once a year, that can add years to its life. Insulating some pipes in your basement, that's your #1 defense against a burst pipe in the winter. And this one, knowing where your main water shutoff valve is, that single piece of information can turn a potential house-destroying flood into just a small puddle. These are simple habits, but they give you massive peace of mind.
So, after all of this, you've got to realize the question isn't if your home will face a plumbing problem, it's when. It's inevitable. But by understanding the story your pipes are telling, by recognizing those warning signs, and by being proactive, you're no longer a victim of your plumbing. You're in charge. So let me ask you, is your home prepared?